Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am Koala, and I am a shamanic practitioner, mainly within the Nordic tradition, but I'm also initiated into the Nustakarpa and Moon and Key rites within the Kiro medicine. And that's a short intro that I do every time. But since I have gotten some new subscribers in the last year, I thought at least once a year, maybe I should do a video to just do a presentation. Who am I? So, uh, who am I? Where do I begin? So, as I said, I'm a shamanic practitioner, mainly within the Nordic tradition, and the Nordic tradition is a part of me, a part of who I am. And I want you to know that there are different ways to walk the Nordic path to work with shamanism within the Nordic tradition. There's a lot of different ways. I think it's almost it's very personal, and I work with the runes as my main map of the cosmos. It's the main it's not a tool. It is a tool when I do divination, when I work with spa, or spå, as we say in Swedish. But for me, the runes are everything and nothing. It's the map of cosmos. Every single part of shamanism can be found within the runes. Every part can be found. So, like we can find Seder in a few of the runes described, and how to work with Seder if we listen to the runes, and soul retrieval, working with the past lives, working with people who have passed away, how to honor our ancestors, how to honor places, how to work with reciprocity and gratitude, how to walk in beauty, how to feel joy, how to work with our inner child. Everything is described in the knowledge, within the knowledge of the runes, and with so every rune has a medicine, and one medicine can be described by several runes, or it's it goes in it goes like this. Like it's a dance. The runes go together, and some of them don't. And it's a wonderful way to walk through life with the runes as my back, as my tree of life, as my Yggdrasil. So I work within all of the 9 realms, and I'm actually gonna talk a little bit more about the nine worlds, the 9 realms of the uh, of the universe, of the cosmos, in a series here on YouTube in English. So I'm gonna go through that at a later date. So I don't need to go into that more now, but I work with that. And so Seder, which is something that a lot of people talk, connect to the Nordic tradition and to the Nordic ways, are simply one part of everything I do. And you can call a lot of things Seder. Is not one specific thing, even though that might be a common misconception. And as I said, there are a lot of ways to walk the Nordic path, and I honor. So how I live my life is I celebrate the yearly ceremonies, that I call them, which are the four main ones are the spring equinox, the summer solstice, the autumn equinox, and the winter solstice. And those are also connected to different goddesses. For me, they are connected to different goddesses. So the spring equinox is connected to Eden, uh, the goddess of youth and rejuvenation. And then we have summer solstice, which is Sunna, or Sol, the sun goddess. And then we have the autumn equinox, which is connected to the Norns. And then we have the winter solstice, that is connected to Skadi or Skade. And so I celebrate those, and then between these, I also celebrate other deities. So For example, I celebrate Saga, the storytelling goddess. I celebrate Freya, the goddess of the beauty, of love, passion, etc. And I also celebrate uh, Ron, uh, the goddess of the oceans and the seas. And then I celebrate Hel, which is the goddess of the underworld. So there's a lot of celebrations, and each celebration marks a specific time and a specific time of the year, and time time is a wider concept. So apart from that, I also, or together with that, I celebrate the moon and the moon phases. So I walk with the moon, because I don't always celebrate each and every one of them. It depends on what I need, and if I miss one, if I miss to celebrate one intentionally, it's probably, I don't cry about it. It's sometimes I do it intentionally. Often I do it intentionally, or I use the moon's phases intentionally for my magic and for my medicine. So I also walk with the moon and just let it guide me, and it's it's like a reciprocity kind of thing, and it's a balance kind of thing, because nowadays I feel like my life just walks together with the moon. So what that can mean is that when the dark moon comes along, I release stuff. When the full moon comes along, I manifest stuff, and then it just happens and goes hand in hand. And I don't need to do it intentionally most moon cycles, but I can also choose to do it intentionally. And it's the same goes for the year. So that's kind of how I live my life day to day. And then I'm also initiated into other shamanistic practices like the Nustakarpai and the Munaki rites. So the Nordic tradition is what I master. That's what I really, that's in my heart. It's my und, it's my breath, it's my spirit, it's my life. And then when we master our own tradition, we can walk outside of it and connect to other things and discover other things. And I think it's so amazing to discover that there are so many traditions all around the world that are connected and have the same basics. They just call it different things, and have different maps for it. So I chose to dive into the Munaki rites. I wanted to know more about the shamanism from that part of the world, and I was looking at specific shamans, like almost scheduled for a 3-year education within that. And I was looking at this curriculum, that's the word, and I thought, well, without being like arrogant or full of myself, but I looked at it and I was like, I have this, 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 I have this. I have my own version of it, because it's all the same, it's just different maps. So I was looking at their map and I was like, all of this I am familiar with, because it's a part of my tradition, but not these rites. These rites I don't know. So I found the Four Winds that was giving a course in only the Munaki rites and Munaki, to be a Munaki practitioner, so I can give the rites forward to other people, which is important to me. It's important to me that I can share what I learn and share the medicine, So I did that. And way before that, I wanted to work with my own chakras. I wanted to heal certain aspects of my physical self from the inside out. And I started doing that from different perspectives. And one of those perspectives were the chakras and the energy body. So when I did that, I came to a point where I needed help. and I found a shaman from Honduras that helped me to heal certain aspects of what I wanted, what I needed to heal in that moment in time. It had to do with trauma healing. So I went to her and did that, and then when I had gone through that long, excruciating period of healing, uh, she was gonna hold an initiation weekend with the Nusta Carpi, and I just felt drawn to it. I was like, yeah, this is what I need right now. This is my next step, to have my own connection to the goddess rites, to have my own connection to the seven goddesses of the chakras, and to keep working together with them, and the knowledge I already have obtained while working with healing myself from the inside out. So that was the most logical step for me, and also what I was called to do. So I went through that initiation process. It was also excruciating, which most of things are when you work in shamanism. There's a lot of excruciating things to go through. So I did that quite a long time ago. I think it was like 8 years ago now. I did that, and I worked with them since. And it's so fascinating to me that there are things that come into place, and there's a puzzle. So there's a puzzle being laid, and a jigsaw puzzle. That's what I'm talking about. I think that's the English word for it. So I mainly go outside of my own work with my ancestors, and because that's my main source of knowledge or resource, as of, if you will, is my ancestors, my spirit guides, and all of my, yeah, my guides. That's who I work with mainly. And then I go outside of that, outside of my own realm, when I uh, stumble upon something that I really need in that moment in time, a piece of knowledge or a piece of the puzzle and something like that, and I welcome it into myself. So that's when I take courses, I turn to other shamans, I do workshops, I attend workshops and ceremonies with other people. So I am very solitary in one way, and then I also share my medicine as much as possible, and then I uh, share others and receive others' medicine and knowledge when they are willing to give, and I feel like I'm ready to receive, which I'm working on. I'm working on receiving, on just opening up. But anyway, so an important aspect for me when being initiated into anything really is to be able to give it forward, to work with it so that it can become a part of me, and to connect it with the medicine that is already a part of me, like the runes. Like, okay, so the sixth monarchy rites can be connected to the Perto rune, and the work with the mountains and the wisdom keepers and all of that is, I can connect those. And when I made all of those connections, I feel like I can stand in that power, and then I can share it. So I don't know what I can tell you about myself except maybe that. So the runes have been a part of me since I was a little chap, a tiny chap, and I used to go out with my dad in the forest in Sweden, and well, not only forest but into nature, and visit historical sites with rune stones and that sort of thing. And I always felt that there was something more hidden beneath the runes in the stones, and beneath the runes within the runes, and in the places we visited. And so my dad has two different sides. One side is that he sees himself as an atheist, as someone that is very scientific and science oriented, and everything, the only thing that exists is the tangible, the things you can touch and see and hear, with your physical senses. And then the other side is going into nature, having spiritual experiences in nature, feeling at peace, feeling the balance of the nature, feeling connected to the earth mother and that sort of thing, but not with those kind of words. So I I w- I w- I have had the privilege to see that side of him and to learn from that. I mostly learned from that, I think. I found uh, more. I think I found more safety and more logic in a way in the spiritual than in the ordinary. So that's kind of where my journey began, together with him, you might say. So and then as I grew, I dabbled in different things, but the runes have always been a backbone for me. I learned to write with the runes very early on. I've talked about this in comments sometimes, that uh, I learned to write with the runes even almost before I learned to write the regular alphabet. I had a diary when I was little, and I only wrote runes with the runes in. I still have it somewhere. I still have my diary from when I was like maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, somewhere like as early as 6 years old, and then up to maybe I started middle grade or something like that. I don't know the English word for it, but when I was around 9 or 10. So uh yeah, the runes are my backbone. It's my breath, it's my life, it's my heart, it's my everything. And they are my everything. And the runes are uh 25 amazing energies, amazing almost personalities, that when you work with them, when you walk with them, and it's the basis of everything I do. So every course except for the Munaki rites and the Nusta Karpai, which I honor and keep in the way that they are. I don't mess with how to give those. And like the reference, what I don't mess with those ceremonies. I hold them and I honor them. I hold them high and I honor them, and uh, I maintain them in the way that they are meant to be. But everything else is uh, okay. I connect the different rites in the monarchy with different runes and different parts of, because everything is, every everything on earth is connected to something else, even if it's far away, and you can find the same practice with just a different twist in different parts of the world. And when I talk reciprocity, someone from the other side of the world knows exactly what I mean with reciprocity. When I talk about gratitude, you know what I mean about gratitude. When I talk about opening up my heart, you know what I'm talking about. So things just holistically make sense. uh, so in that regard, the runes are even the backbone to the rights in the monarchy and the Nustokarpai. But when I pass them forward, I maintain the ceremonies in the way that they are and have been through centuries. So everything else is grown from my practice with the runes as my map of the cosmos in one way or another. Even the goddesses and the gods that I work with are connected to runes. So, and different energies that are represented by the runes. So that's how I work. One thing that I have mentioned goddesses and gods in the Nordic tradition during this video that has become longer than I intended. And one thing I want to say, I'm not what you would say asatroende or and as a Asir believer, there are religious communities for that, and I'm not a part of those. Each to their own. I don't condone them. I don't. Well, that's not the word. Condemn. I don't condemn them. condone. I don't condone. I don't look down upon them. They every each to their own, and I even have some things in common with them. But I have visited those spaces. I have went to some ceremonies with different organizations, but I really didn't really feel at home. So I'm solitary in a lot of ways, and then I also share my medicine, and I do have a circle of friends that I celebrate with, and that I meet up with, and that I work with, and that share my way of my Nordic ways, and that also have their separate traditions, and we mix and blend in a cauldron when we meet up. So uh, what I'm trying to say that there might be some misconceptions or just conceptions about what the Nordic tradition is and isn't, and just drop them, okay? Just drop them and find people that you resonate with and feel like, okay, this is what I want to dive into. And if you want to dive into the the religious community that works with the author and those kind of things, dive into that if you like. If what I say resonate with you, follow me, subscribe to my channel, like this video. If you have questions, ask me questions in the comment sections, or connect with me through my website, Dream is One. And yeah, just remember to follow your own intuition, follow your heart, seek your truth, and walk your path. And yeah, I walk mine, and mine is similar to a lot of other Nordic shamanic practitioners, and then we also have our differences. So there are even people that are both Avalon priestesses and Nordic shamanic practitioners, and it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I think the multicultural society that Sweden is shines through into our Nordic ways. We have our Nordic, some things are some things connect us, and some things just are multicolored. It doesn't divide us, it's just multicolored. I practice in one way, someone else practice in a different way, but the core is the same. Like, I know people that honor the same goddesses and gods that I do, but they celebrate them in other ways. There are some things that I have been drawn to at sometimes, like Alvablut, but it hasn't really felt like my thing. I have done Disablut sometimes, but uh, only when I feel called to do it. It's not something that's a part of my yearly practice. But for other people, other Nordic practitioners, it's really, really important for them. So, and there's not no such thing as right or wrong, and it's not black and white. So it's a whole rainbow spectra. Remember that. And yeah, I can't speak for other traditions and other shamanic practitioners. I can only speak for me. I do know that a lot of the Nordic shamanic practitioners agree with me about the rainbow spectrum. So, and that we are not divided by our differences, we are united by them. So, I think I'm done now for this time. And walk in beauty, walk your path, and I will see you in my next video. Tjingeling!